So here we are at the Dynamo Stadium, but the question is, are we newly installed as the Dynamo Zagreb boss, or are we in the away dugout and we're still in charge of Lokomotiva? Well, that was probably the least suspenseful intro of all time. Of course, we've taken over at Dynamo. I have gone for the Messiah ending, take over at Croatia's biggest club, guide them clear of relegation, take them to an unlikely cup victory, qualify them for the Conference League, win that European trophy next season, maybe throw in a league title, and finish the quest as a hero rather than the whimpering underperformer that I think I would have been if I'd have stayed at Lokomotiva. We've only been in situ for 2 days, and we have the biggest game of the season with Dynamo this afternoon. We're going to be taking on Slaven Belupo at home in a cup semi-final. Win it, and we're going to set up a final probably against Hajduk as they are in action in the other semi against third-tier opposition. And in this episode, we're going to introduce you to our squad. We're going to show you our tactic, place your bets on what formation we've gone with, and we're going to try and take our first steps towards pulling off an impossible ending. How dare you suggest that a 4-4-2 was inevitable? This is a 4-2-2-2 Brazilian box hybrid tactic that is going to knock the socks off Croatian opposition. How dare you also cry that wasn't this a tactic that you pioneered in FM23 and you're just recycling it? These are the kind of allegations that I don't want to hear. Thank you very much. We're going to be playing with attacking wing-backs who are on support. We're going to be playing with wide men that just can't be marked because they drift inside. We're going to have a front two that is going to strike fear into the heart of Croatian defences. And all of this is pure speculation because I've not seen any of these players in action yet. Let's introduce you to them, starting with Swiss goalkeeper Pascal Loretz. Now, he's wanted and he's valued at potentially £5.6 million. And I don't know whether we might be able to find an upgrade as a keeper during the summer. So the jury is certainly out on young Pascal, particularly as he's being paid £28,000 a week. But he's the best of the goalies that we have at the moment, so he gets the starting jersey. At left back, we will have Mir Breznic, capped 33 times for Slovenia, pacey, a decent crosser of the ball, and hopefully that off-the-ball movement will see him galloping up the flanks. On the opposite side, it's Spaniard Ricard Sanchez, capped twice for the under-21 side. He too is quick, an even better crosser of the ball, and hopefully he'll be able to deliver some service into the box. At centre-half, we had some good options. On loan, Mohamed Kamara, a veteran at 32 years old, 81 caps for his national team, is quick, good in the air, and tough in the tackle. And alongside him is Gambian James Gomez, himself no stranger to the headed ball. He also has good marking, anticipation, and bravery for a centre-half. And unlucky to miss out is young Colombian Beckham Avila. Jumping reach of 18, bravery of 17, aggression of 16. He could be one for next season. As our anchor man, we have Uruguayan Emiliano Martinez, an all-rounder who's good at marking, good at tackling, has excellent concentration, and is another player that's keeping young Beckham on the bench. And alongside him is the master craftsman Branko Pavic, very fit, great anticipation. You want to see him make a decision, and his passing and vision are sublime. On the left flank, we have Croatian Gabriel Vidovic. The flair, technique, composure, and dribbling mean that they will be drifting inside, playing as a playmaker from the left side of midfield, trying to craft chances for his teammates. And over on the right, we have the raw ability of wonder kid Petr Isek, fit, brave, great flair, good crossing and passing, and we'll be looking for him to move inside and try some of those killer balls. As our support striker, we have Miroslav Milanovic. Lovely agility, flair, and technique, but look out for those long shots. And our chief goal getter is just 18, but has already scored 3 times for his national team. It's another wonder kid, and one with great physicals, finishing of 16, first touch of 16, and great off-the-ball movement. So the finances at this club aren't quite as rosy as I was led to believe. They've given us a £9.5 million transfer budget. I thought that implied that they might have some money in the bank, but they're actually nearly £4 million overdrawn. And a lot of our players, I think we could possibly upgrade, and some of them are wanted by other clubs. So there might be a little bit of wheeling and dealing. I might put my Harry Redknapp cap on during the summer, but if next season is going to mean anything, we've got to qualify for Europe, and that is going to be a very testing proposition. This semi-final today against Slaven Belupo is not going to be an easy game. Even if we navigate it, it looks like it's going to be Hajduk in the final. The silver lining is that in their most recent game, Dynamo beat Hajduk 1-0, but of course, I wasn't in charge for that match. They had a much tactically superior caretaker manager in charge, and they have been on this almighty terrible run in the league. There is still a decent chance that Dynamo could get relegated with yours truly at the helm. You'll see that Slaven Belupo are the team occupying that play-out position currently, but they're only 1 point behind us, so if we don't start well, we could be faced with having to play a relegation playoff game against a team from the second tier. Heavens forbid, it looks like it could even be a team that is one of our affiliate clubs, so that would be degrading, I would say. Hopefully it won't come to that. We are only 2 points behind Rijeka in 6th. I think that would be our target to try and finish. I don't think we can catch Lokomotiva in 5th place, but if we could finish 6th and make a cup final and win it against Hajduk, who may just have a league campaign that could end in the title on their minds instead, well, that, I think, would be a good reward. Now, one issue I was going to get your opinions on down in the comments is whether there are any players back at Lokomotiva that you think we should be in the market for. We know that Willy Kambwala is wanted by a Norwegian club. Would he fit in our central defence, especially if we could get him at the lower end of his transfer valuation? Would we go back for one of the best performing players in the division? And that is Mark Pubel, relegated to the bench, I think, at Lokomotiva. But he has got the highest average rating of the players that have appeared in the top flight this season. Do we go back and get him to be our right wing back? Do we go for any of our youngsters like Cami Reyes? Or do we think that there is better options out there for a club the size and the stature of Dynamo? And do we go for any of our signings that we bought in when we first joined Lokomotiva? Players like Christoph Daniek, who've already decided they want to consider their options at the end of their contract next season. Do we see whether we can sign them, probably as one of our squad players for next season? Let us know down in the comments whether there's anybody on Lokomotiva's books that you think we should go and make a bid for in the summer. Now, before we get out there and take on Slaven Belupo, I just wanted to chat about one other issue that came up in the comments at the end of the last episode, and that was whether we should extend the quest by another season. Lots of you who said, take the Dynamo job, but give yourself an extra season to try and win a European trophy. I could see the sense in that, but I think you might have been missing something. If we give ourselves another season at the quest, and especially if we don't qualify for European competition this season, we'll have no European football next season. I'll be at the biggest club in Croatia. I've got a reasonable transfer budget to try and rebuild the squad, plus room in the wage budget. I think there's a fair old chance that next season we might win the league or at least come second. And I think that that would mean that we would be qualifying for Champions League football rather than Europa or even Conference League football. So I'm not entirely convinced that adding an extra season to the quest will help us in our ambitions, because what I do not want to do is to try and play with no integrity and deliberately try and come third or lower to give myself a chance of winning that European trophy. I think we've got to play this save honestly, and if we extend the quest by a season because next campaign has no European football in it, I think there's a good chance that in the final season of the quest we would be in the Champions League, and I think we're all agreed we ain't going to win that one. So my preference is to try and pull off the miracle, take them to a cup final this season and win it, thus qualifying for the Conference League next campaign, and we will win that trophy as well. And maybe just, on the side, we will win a Croatian league title. But it all starts tonight against Slaven Belupo, and if we lose this game, our time at Dynamo looks like it's ending in failure before it has even got started. Let's get into the dressing room and give our inaugural team talk. Hopefully, the players will be buoyed by our arrival. The press, by the way, certainly haven't been. They were very pessimistic about me taking over. It wasn't a very good introductory press conference. Let's go and give the fans a performance to cheer for. Let's also try and G up some of the other positions of the pitch, like the strikers and the midfielders. And let's see whether we can get these fans to roar us on to a cup semi-final victory. And we are underway. Our kickoff highlight came to absolutely nothing, but with 5 minutes on the clock, here we come for the first time in charge of Dynamo. Our Spanish fullback Ricard gets it to Pavic, our playmaker. Ricard had a chance to shoot. Instead, he ducks back out of the area, gives it to one of his teammates. He has a curling effort from about 22 yards out, and we win our first corner. And this is a strong old start to the game. And one of our wingers, Isak, has popped up in the box and headed us into the lead. Not a goal created by our tactic or our vibrant, attacking, creative play. It's one that's hit Isak on the back of the head as he's looking in the wrong direction and has foxed both their defence and their goalkeeper. And we are 1-0 up against Slaven Belupo. And we've got another corner right now. It's Milanovic from the other side, sends a ball in. Isak now sends it back to him. We deliver once more, and Isak is there again. And the young man is already proving himself every inch the wonder kid that his tag suggests. 10 minutes played. He was the player that actually teed up the cross into the box. It's a deep one. It's a good header back. And he has struck the volley down into the ground. It bounced past the keeper, and we could be on our way to a final. And we kick off straight away with another highlight. Could we win the ball back and test Slaven Belupo once more? Or are they going to try and make their way back into the game? They've got the ball at the back. Here's Pantalon. He's all mouth and no trousers. He sends the ball forward. Loretz grabs it. Look at the options he's got there. He's got 2 DMs and 2 centre-halves. And he decides to feed the full-back. Perfect. Now we don't have the players in the right positions to attack, so we eventually give it back to the centre-halves. That's build-up play of the clumsiest order. Here is the playmaker Pavic out to Isak, the danger man. He's fed Milanovic. He's not been fouled. That was a clean tackle. I think the VAR review is going to hand us a penalty anyway. And inside 12 minutes here, we could be racing into a 3-goal lead. It's going to be Vidovic. And he finds the top corner of the net. I think we need to file this away in the dreams start category, don't we? Never, I don't think, have I made such a blistering start to an opening 12 minutes in charge of a new club. We are 3-0 up. We've got a very healthy XG. We're coming forward once more with a free kick, and we clip the top of the bar. Slaven Belupo have not been able to even muster an effort on target so far. Maybe we should even pause the game, throw out a praise shout and just tell the players they're doing well, and see if we can inspire them to go in hunt of more goals. 5 shots, 4 on target. We've hit the woodwork once. We've had 3 clear-cut chances. And let's be brutally honest, since about the 12th minute, I don't think we've done a single thing. Here we go once more. Milanovic, Isak. He is rapidly becoming my favourite, by the way. He's had an effort that the goalkeeper has tipped wide of the post. We've proven already we can be a danger at these set plays. Milanovic gets the ball back. He turns. Is he going to look for a ball into the box? Instead, we work it to Pavic and Owusu. Then it's our other. It's not even Owusu. It's Usu. Our other wonder kid finds the corner of the net. And we have got 2 18-year-olds at Dynamo that look like they might be valuable little assets for us. And Slaven Belupo have got to be thinking that it's a long way back for them now. We've struck our 4th of the game. Hajduk hopefully will be watching on. And maybe, just maybe, we might be able to qualify for Europe this season after all. It's Jakitic, Pantalon, back to Kvet. We need to win this ball again. I don't want to give away a goal right on the stroke of half-time. But that is exactly what we have done. And Hoxha has just found the very inside of the post. Maybe this game is not over after all. It's now 4-1. We were open in the full-back area. We don't close down quick enough. And our centre-halves don't get close enough to their man either, which is a worry, because I think centre-half is the area of the pitch where we are strongest in this side. Nevertheless, if you'd have offered me a 3-goal lead at the interval of our first game in charge, I will undoubtedly have taken it. We're going to make a little change at half-time because Branko Pavic, our playmaker, he's picked up a knock. He thinks he can shake it off. But I think to secure this game, it would be wise to have our fittest players out on the pitch. So we're going to bring on a replacement for him. And we've got 45 minutes to try and navigate, hopefully without conceding another goal. Because if we do, it might get a little bit nervy. They've got the kick-off. They've managed to bring the ball forward, but we've won it back. And we are striding forward through Rickard. And now we can try and just secure a little bit of control of the game, I hope. We've got 7 shots, 6 on target. Our XG is healthy. We've scored from 2 of the 5 corners that we've had, directly or indirectly. And now we're coming forward through open play. And Vidovic has curled home a delightful little finish. He scurries his way into the box. One little swivel of those hips. And he beats a man, and he has proven a pretty decent player this game, and he just shakes and bakes. He might even play it through the defender's legs and into the corner of the net. It's 5-1, and I think that should be game 1. On 62 minutes, we come forward again. We're about to make a couple of substitutions, but before that, Isak feeds Brezek, and we've made it 6. And we really are looking pretty good down the flanks. This time it's one of the fullbacks that scores. 4 of our goals this afternoon have been from the 2 wide players, neither of which are playing as conventional wingers. And this is looking pretty good from a tactical point of view. It's not often that I create a tactic that works, but this time it's hit the ground running at least, and we've hit 6 against Slaven Belupo, who probably are looking a little bit shell-shocked. And we are hurtling our way through the game. 65 minutes and we're coming forward again. Isak is looking for a hat-trick. Vidovic we had to take off because he was looking pretty tired. He was on a hat-trick as well. And they've cleared the ball to the halfway line, but we're hunting them down. They've played the ball back. We've managed to win it in the centre of midfield and give it away in one foul swoop, and they're coming back at us again. Bogijevic sends it across the box. We managed to hack it clear, and that highlight means that we have still kept them to just 1 goal so far. This is a quick little counter-attack. It's working out quite nice. Zerbin is one of the substitutes that's come on. He plays it back to his left full-back. He's launched the ball forward. Here's Usu. He's got men in the box. We sent it to Vincek, and now it's to Milanovic and Rickard. He has stung the palms of the keeper, who has shoveled it over the crossbar. Our final substitutions are made, including bringing on young Beckham Avia, who, maybe not this season, but next season, I think could be another key player for us. And we've had another corner routine that we've worked into the box. Zerbin, who may be a substitute, I've got no idea who he is, I have to be honest, has managed to turn the ball into the net for a 7th. And would we call this a statement victory? It's Isak that plays the ball to Gomez. Zerbin just turns the ball past a hapless Slaven Belupo goalkeeper. 12 shots, 11 on target. That's the kind of ratio that I am not used to achieving. Normally, I need 40 shots to get 10 on target in order to score 1 goal. So this is quite a pleasing performance. I don't quite like the XG that Slaven Belupo managed to amass by the end of it. That indicated that we were a little open at the back. But all of our wide players, even the ones that came on as substitutes, have done well. And I think that's a good first day at the office. Now, the dream, of course, is that the 3rd-tier side beat Hajduk in the final, giving us an easier passage into Europe. Unfortunately, not. We've set up a mouth-watering eternal derby in the Hrvatski Cup final. I think it would probably have been a bit of a mauling for the non-leaguers. Indeed, they lost 5-2 to Hajduk. So that is going to be the game that we are going to have to crown our season. It is going to be a 2-legged affair. We head out to Split for the first of those, and you can guess what we're coming back for Thursday's episode.